Hi sweet friends, it's Hani from Haniela's here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this cookie decorating tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make these beautiful plaque cookies featuring a unique bokeh background and the cutest little polar bear holding a present. It's perfect design for holidays and any cozy winter gathering. So without further ado, let's get started. Here I'm dividing my large plaque cookie into 3 approximately equal sections. We're going to create an ombre layer. I'm starting with the deepest of the colors. This is teal color. I'm using 15-second consistency here. And we're going to add 3 different shades. So I'm starting with the darker and then medium teal and then very light teal, or you can even get away with white at the very top. What's important is the consistency of your royal icing. It needs to be flat consistency for this technique to work. And if you don't have this particular cutter, you can use a round cutter or any other cutter will work basically, as long as you can fit on that cute little bear on there. And now with the palette knife, I'm going to distribute the icing evenly and then also run it across the borders, the edges. Palette knife works better than scribe tool here because the surface is larger and first of all it's faster, and it also creates a really seamless transition between the colors. Immediately after you're done with this step, we're going to work on that beautiful bokeh pattern. So we're going to use several different shades of teal, and I'm going to also use white icing. So let's just accentuate the points. And now starting with that dark teal we used on the bottom, I'm adding some rounds at the very top here. Now I'm switching to the lightest of the colors. I used this technique on another house a few years back. You can find this tutorial on my channel here or on my blog. Here you can see I'm using the medium teal, overlapping some of the darker colors or darker circles or darker rounds, whatever you want to call these spots. Now I'm adding white icing. Where the colors are overlapping, I'm icing that section with white. All of these colors should be flat consistency. So work with icing that is about 10 to 15-second consistency. Once the icing dries, we can take pearl luster dust and dry food only paintbrush and apply it in a circular motion onto the icing. Then you can also use gold luster dust and a little bit of pink and do the same thing. I actually first saw this technique on Sweet Am's channel. Amber created a bokeh butterfly cookies, I believe, many years ago. And it really inspired me to create my own version. Now I'm adding some pink. These are all luster dust, so there's a bit of a shimmer to these. Make sure that you use food only paintbrushes with these, and the paintbrush should be fully dry. And your icing also needs to be dry. Now we can trace the outline for the polar bear onto the cookie using a scribe tool, and I'm using a handy cardstock template here. And I'm just going to taper it at the end a little bit. Make the feet like so. And now we're going to outline this with white icing. And for this step, you can use 15 to 20-second consistency here. I'm avoiding doing the ears at the moment. We're going to add those once this section is finished. So now we're going to flood. You can increase the pressure on a piping bag. and add this. Let's ice this area with white. So now we can distribute the icing with the scribe tool. And there. Let it crust for about 5-10 minutes, and then you can add the ears. If you add the ears at the same time you're adding the body, they will just become part of the body. There will not be any different definition, so make sure that you let the body crust before you add the ears. Now I'm adding just a touch of pink. Also guys, I wrote my very first ebook. You can check it out. Link is in the description box under the video. This ebook covers everything about cutout cookies. It also includes my favorite cutout cookie recipes and tips and tricks on how to prevent spreading, how to make your cookies chewier, tender, and so on. So now we can make the present. So I'm using 20-second consistency blue icing. Let it crust, and now we can make black string. This can be around piping consistency or soft piping consistency. Make a cute little bow and wavy tails. And now once the present and the black icing crust, we can add the arms. So for the arms, use about 20-second consistency icing. If you're using runnier icing, you may end up having dimpling or cratering in your icing. And now I'm going to add some color to the cheeks. I'm using pink petal dust, food only paintbrush. Icing is fully dry at this point. If you want to apply dry dust, icing needs to be fully dry, otherwise you're risking that it's not going to work very well. It's going to stick to the surface, or there's a likelihood you're going to actually make a dent in icing. Make the nose and eyes. Oh, aren't these adorable? Super cute. Now to make this even more charming, I'm adding stars. I'm using about 20-second consistency royal icing here. My piping tip has a super tiny little opening. You can get away with, obviously piping consistency would be perfect, but if your opening is super small, 20-second works really well, and it's a bit easier to pipe. Now adding some snowflakes in the form of a dot, like these dots, to finish this design. So what do you guys think? Are you going to try and make these cookies at home? Let me know in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.